I picked up two 1x4 boards and some nylon rope from my local store. First, I cut them down to required lengths using a miter saw and then ripped each piece to 1.5 inches wide. If you don't have a table saw, you can skip this step by using standard 1x2 boards. Next, I sanded everything smooth, rounding off the edges for a smoother look and feel. Once that was done, I laid out the pieces side by side to form a semicircle. Then I marked reference lines where I needed to drill the holes for the rope. One by one, I drilled all the way through each piece, making sure the holes were wide enough to thread the rope easily. For the finish, I chose 2 shades of wood stain designed for outdoor furniture and decks. After mixing the stain thoroughly, I applied the first coat using a foam applicator. You can also use a brush made for staining. Since this scabbard stain has a built-in sealer, it's perfect for outdoor use. After everything was dry, I arranged the pieces back in order and got ready to assemble. I cut 5 sets of nylon rope, each about 3 times the length I needed for a row. To make threading easier, I wrapped some painter's tape around the ends and lightly burned them to prevent fraying. I started by threading the first rope through the first wooden piece, then did the same with the second rope, pulling them all the way through and leaving about 3 inches on one side. To secure it, I tied a knot on the shorter end and 2 knots on the other side of the wood. Each time I made a knot, I made sure it was tight. One by one, I continued threading each piece, tying 2 knots between every wood strip to keep them secure. I repeated this process across all 5 rows of rope, ensuring everything stayed in place. Finally, I secured the last piece with the final knot and lightly burned the edges of the rope to prevent fraying. Once all the wood strips were connected with the rope, I attached a wooden support to the flat bottom side of the semicircle using wood glue and secured it with nails. As a final touch, I added these self-adhesive rubber gripper pads on the underside. This will help keep the mat from sliding and prevent direct contact with the ground. And that's it. Now I have a beautiful, functional and unique wooden doormat for my front door.
And grab some planters right off the shelf, some primer, and some textured finish. We're going to go with this square base. So we're going to put some glue here right around the edges. I'm just going to wipe it around the edge just like this. Put it right on top. This waterproof container right here, flip it over. I can just take the glue now and just put it all inside here. Go ahead and take our pot, put it right inside there. We're going to go ahead and put some glue right on top. Want to make sure that we get it just centered perfectly. And I want to put on a good coat of primer. I went with an off-white cream color, get every square inch. Look at how good that looks right at your front door.
Head to your local dollar store for this adorable home update. I grabbed 1 basket and 10 of these wooden pieces. Once I got my supplies home, I set to work staining them using these easy staining cloths that I had in the garage. Once they were dry, I set up 2 of the wooden pieces vertically, and then I added the rest of my wooden pieces horizontally. 8 of these pieces fit perfectly over the 2 vertical ones. The next step was to secure these in place, which would have been really easy if I had a nail gun at hand, but I didn't, so I just used some 1-inch nails and put those in place. Now I was ready to add house numbers to my project. I had purchased these 4-inch house numbers because I only needed 2 digits. I nailed these into place and my project was looking pretty good. The next thing I did to finish it up was to add some pretty flowers. I love the way the flowers look and how they bring color to the project. The last step is simply to hang it up. And here's how mine looks in front of my door. I love how it looks and it coordinates with the color of my door as well. I hope this inspires you to have fun with a little house address project of your own. Thanks for watching Hometalk, and see you next time.
Grab tin cans and a napkin for this brilliant porch decor. I washed 3 tin cans from the recycling, removed the labels, and scuffed up the surface with a wire brush. I wiped clean with a cloth and spray painted the outside of each can with Rust-Oleum paint and primer white spray paint. While that was drying, I spray painted some metal chain black. I set that aside to dry. I used a small drill bit to drill 3 holes evenly spaced along the top edge of the tin can. I drilled holes in the same spots at the bottom edge and the same spots again at the very bottom of the tin can. Then I cut the napkins into smaller pieces and cut around the birds. I painted outdoor Mod Podge on the tin can, placed the napkin pieces on, and sealed it with more Mod Podge. I did this for all 3 tin cans, then used a nail to poke through the holes I drilled to make sure the glue didn't close them over. I let the cans dry, 24 hours is ideal, and hung it on my deck for the most beautiful hanging planter. Nobody would guess that this is made from recycled tin cans and napkins.
Do you have random faux flowers around your house that don't seem to go together? Start by organizing them by color and type of flower. Fill the bottom of the planter with floral foam, stacked vertically next to each other. Tuck them in tightly and fill as much of the planter as possible. Once the foam is snug in the planter, take wooden floral picks and press them into the floral foam with about an inch sticking out. Now, take more floral foam and press them on top of the floral picks so the block is secure and doesn't move. Next, create 4 to 5 bows from ribbon and floral wire. Once all the wire is secure, stick the wood pick into the side of a foam block in the planter. Now, let's add the flowers. Think in terms of color blocking so that similar flowers are placed in the planter together. Start with tall flowers in the back and then add shorter flowers in a contrasting color in front of them. Fill in empty spaces with faux greenery. I hope this inspired you to create a bold and beautiful DIY faux flower arrangement.
To get started, we are going to be using spackling. So I'm just taking a simple spackling knife. We're gonna spread it on all over the pot. What we're gonna do next is we're gonna do like a stamping technique using chicken wires. You wanna just kind of press it in all over, and then we're gonna remove it. And you can see here where it's just gonna give it a little bit of almost like a beehive look to it. So we're gonna go ahead and let them dry. I'm using an indoor-outdoor spray paint by Rust-Oleum, and this color is Heirloom White. So now that we have both coats of the spray paint dry, I'm gonna go in and I wanna add some of this multicolor texture by Rust-Oleum. I cannot believe how well these pots turned out. They turned out better than I expected, and they perfectly match the aesthetic of my house.
The next time you are at your local dollar store, pick up some wire garden hanging baskets. Turn one wire basket upside down and place on top of a second basket. Secure together by using 3 zip ties that are placed equidistant from each other. Take a string of LED lights, hang the battery box inside the basket globe, and connect to the top. Turn the lights on and wrap the lights evenly around the globe, both vertically and horizontally. Secure the end of the light string to the basket using a twist tie. Using a leafy garland of your choice, start to tuck and glue the different leaves to the wire basket globe. Now, remember all those chains and hooks that you removed from the baskets? Let's put them to good use. Reconnect these chains of different lengths to the hooks and tighten the hook back together using some pliers. If you have a porch swing, here is a fun way to hang the globes without drilling additional holes into your porch ceiling. Thread the stick through your porch swing ceiling hooks to create a horizontal rod and hang your garden globes from the branch. Use your remote to turn the lights on and enjoy the warm glow of your new outdoor lighting.
Now you want to make sure that your glass bowls are very clean. So I'm going to just hold it from the edge, and I'm going to take a gray Crayola crayon and I am going to draw right on my bowl. The next step is you want to take some silver glitter glue, and I'm going to paint my jar with the glitter glue in a crosshatch pattern. I'm going to be using these out of doors, so you definitely have to use some kind of a sealer. The next thing I'm going to do is take some fairy lights and put them right down inside of my jar. Make some of these glowing garden orbs for yourself and enjoy them all summer long. They'll bring magic to your garden, or even just to the pots of flowers that you have by your front door.
If you're in the mood for a spring project, grab a 1/4-inch thick ply, wood numbers, and a bunch of flour. I started by cutting the 1/4-inch thick plywood into required sizes for a flower box. You can use any saw you have or get them cut to size at your local store. You'll need a 12-inch long signboard, a 15 by 20-inch backer board, 3/4-inch frame pieces, and cuts for the box in these dimensions. Next, I began assembling. I glued the frame pieces on top and either sides. Then I put together the pieces for the box. I used painter's tape to temporarily hold them together while the glue dries. The box is then attached to the backer board. I added extra weights on top to help it bond. Next, I sanded all the sides to smooth the edges, and then painted the whole box with multiple coats of outdoor-grade white spray paint. I applied attractive base colors to both sides of the signboard. While this dries, I crafted permanent vinyl stickers using a Cricut machine. This wood sign is reversible, featuring welcome on one side and hello spring on the other. You can create multiple signs like this for various seasons and themes and swap them as you need. Next, I added 2 white hooks underneath the box. I drilled holes to the signboard and attached twine to hang it on the hooks. I then installed sawtooth hanger on the back of the baseboard. After that, I placed some foam inside the box and arranged colorful flowers to my liking. Next, I painted the wooden numbers black and fixed them on the box. This flower box not only serves as an address sign but also elevates the curb appeal. Plus, it's effortless to swap out signs and flowers to suit different seasons and themes. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more creative ideas in my next video.